Hey, what's going on everyone? Shiva Sapkota here with another Tesla video. Today we have got a massive update from Enhance. And for those of you who are not familiar with Enhance, they make sexy knobs, sexy buttons, the stocks that we covered, and they make amazing product, the best product that we have ever had in the channel. And we have reviewed hundreds of products in the channel. They are also a company that are just like Tesla that keep pushing new software update with their products. So you don't have to buy new products from them. They keep making the existing product better over time. And we're not talking about one or a small feature there. They add massive amount of features such as passenger profile with blind spot indication on the side light, the HUD, so much that they added with just this update. I'm going to show you step by step how to do the update, what they added, and just do a demo of what the product does. They're a really good company, and a lot of our viewers have their products, and I want to keep you guys all updated on every time they bring a massive software update like this. So just a context for our new viewers here, Enhance makes just a handful of products, but with massive software overhaul that you can just go ahead and program this all day you want. Look at this. This is a knob, and you can program this using an easy-to-use app, and this knob can control, over 140 different things on your Tesla, anywhere from gear selection to climate to so much more. So that's the knob. They also got a button like this that if you press just once, it goes to reverse. And then if you double tap it, it goes to drive. If you press and hold, it parks your car. So much features just packed with this one button, and this can control, again, over 100 different features on your car, and you can just put this button anywhere. This is completely wireless. They also make stocks like this, gear and turn signal stock for Teslas like Model 3 Highland and S&X that do not have this, as well as the Juniper where you don't have this gear selector where you can normally use the gear, and this is completely wireless. The installation takes under 15 minutes to do this, super easy, and you can program this stocks to do whatever you want. This is all controlled with one module called Commander that you connect on the OBD port on your Tesla. It takes under 15 minutes, and that's it. That wirelessly transmits everything to do to the buttons or the knobs or the stock, and you can program this to do so many different things. Now, the first step after you do the installation is to go ahead and hit the software update. So you have got Commander, knob, and a stock. So whatever product that you have, it gives you the software update. So we're going to start with the Commander update, and it basically tells you everything that this update brought. Then what you do is hit update and let this begin. So now it will download the file and it will start the update process. You have to update each product separately. So that was just the Commander. Now you got to update the knob and the left or right stock. So whatever product that you have to update them individually. So right now we're going to go ahead and update the knob, and it tells you what update that they made with this version, and then same process. Well, we get everything updated. If you want to check these products out, I have a link in the description below, and you can go and pick any of this, the Commander, the knob, the buttons, and let's say if you want to shop for the knob, you can choose for which options. You can do Model Y Juniper, that is available in May, looks like. The Highland is already available, and then you hit add to cart. Let me show you how you can save some money. So if you go here to checkout, and in the bottom, looks like they have some recommendations here, but if you go here on the discount code and you hit Shiva Tesla, so SHIVA TESLA, and you hit apply, it brought the total by, I think, 10%. So $29.97 brought the total to $269.72. So this is how you can use the discount code to save some money. This is an affiliate code. We do earn a very small commission at no additional cost to you, which greatly helps bring video like this in the future. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Now let's talk about one of the favorite features they added on this update is the passenger EasyEntry. And what this does is, let's say you want to go inside the car and you want the seat to move back, just like the driver when you have an EasyEntry, where you put this seat back, you go in, you sit down, you put on the seat belt, and then it automatically moves forward. So it allows you just enough room to get in, and that's exactly what they did with this update. So let's say if we wanted to take this as an active here, so it says this is an active, and now it says default position and EasyEntry. So let's move this to the default position and we will hit save. So let's leave the phone here so I can show you. So let's move this seat to the default position. Let's say a little bit forward, here. So let's say that's the default position. And so you see that is where I want the seat normally to be at. So we are at default position. We're gonna hit save. So default position has been saved. Now what we're gonna do is now we're gonna do the easy entry position. So this is going to be how you wanna take this back. So let's take this all the way to the back. So that allows you to have the back like fully open. So it gives you enough room. So let's say that is where I want the front seat to be at when I go inside my car. So I have set that up. Now we're gonna go here and hit save. So that is gonna be the easy entry position. Now what happens is with that, we have set it so that if somebody sits here and then if they put on the seat belt, the seat is supposed to move forward. So let's try that. And look at that. The seat is moving forward to the position that we have set it to. So somebody goes in, buckles up, then the seat will move to a default position of your preference. Now, that would be annoying if somebody was sitting on the back seat and they have a tight space there where they're like, we don't want the seat to go back. Then what you can also do is you can disable this if someone is sitting in the back. So if someone is sitting in the back, then this seat is not going to go back for easy entry. It's going to stay at the default position. It's not going to go back for easy entry because somebody is already sitting on the back seat. So it recognizes that and you can customize it. How cool is that? And then just like when you are entering it, as soon as you unbuckle from here and there's no one sitting on this seat, so unbuckle, the seat goes back. As you can see, it is going back so that you can easily get out from the side because the seat already goes back. And again, you can set this so if somebody's sitting on the back, it is not going to do that. Now, another amazing feature that they have added is the scroll wheel button. So you can actually optimize this scroll wheel here. This is a Model 3 Highland. Same thing with the Model Y Juniper. I believe you can also do this with other versions of the cars where for Model 3 Highland and Juniper, you don't have the gear stuck. You got to touch the screen to do the gear selection. So, of course, you can buy a gear stuck like this from Enhance where it is super easy install and it works perfectly just like a Tesla. Or if you don't want to get the gear stuck and just be able to control the gearing with this button, now they made that available. What you have to do is go here and then it says scroll wheel button. You got to activate it, so active, and then press for park. What this is for shifting into park, the brake pedal should be depressed. What you need to do is right now, if you activate this, so if we were to press on the brake pedal, now you have to press on the brake pedal, and then if I was to swipe this down, it goes into reverse, and if I was to swipe this up, it goes into drive, and if I was to press this, it goes into park. So they automated this little button so you don't have to touch the screen here. You can just go over here, press on the brake pedal, reverse, forward, park. They made that automation directly work with this now, which is amazing. And this only works while you are at park. So the speed cannot be higher than like 1 mile per hour for this to work, because as soon as the speed goes higher, then Tesla defaults it so that you can use this button for autopilot, a speed increase and decrease, as well as you're not gonna be accidentally putting the car into reverse while driving because the speed has to be under 1 miles per hour for this to work. Let's say we're driving right now. If I was to scroll this up, it only increases the autopilot speed, and then scrolling this down decreases the autopilot speed, and pressing on this button deactivates the autopilot. So it doesn't actually override it when you are actually driving more than 1 miles per hour. If you're parked, those features are different because right now I can press here and the autopilot engages. I can push this up, the autopilot decreases. But let's say if we come to a park right here, and we're gonna show you, so if I come to a park and right here, so I'm gonna park the car, so the car has been parked. Now the feature is different. Now if I was to push this down, reverse, push this up, drive, press this once, park. So as soon as you start driving, so push this forward and I start driving. So now the speed has increased. I can't just push this up to do anything. So look, right now, cannot shift gear, vehicle speed is high. So it tells you that you won't accidentally do that, so you won't accidentally shift the gear because the vehicle speed is too high. That doesn't have any effect on that. So there is the safety that only works while you are parked, when you're not moving. Now another super cool feature that they have added is with the ambient light effect. This is only applicable for Model 3 Highland like this, or the Model Y Juniper, because we have got this light strip running all across. I really hope that Enhance is working on their own version for the older model. Please, Enhance, make that work, because we need this light on the older model. But with the Highland and the Juniper, what you can do is, I'll start with the turn signal, so I'll show you what this does. So you press on the turn signal. On hazard light, it will flash orange. So let's say right now, if I were to put the hazard light, you see that everything is flashing orange. Now, while that is happening, I could change this so that instead of orange, I could make that pink or purple or red or blue or green, just based on whatever I want, and it will just flash that. So I'll probably leave it at orange or red for the flasher, so that is the hazard light, and I can set that up, and then I could also change it where I want the flashing when I press the hazard. Right now it is just flashing everywhere. You see the right and left. I could just say not on the dash. So it is not going to flash on the dash, but you see on the side it is still flashing. On the dash it is green. Now I can leave the front doors, then nothing is flashing here on the side lights. But as soon as I put the front door, now you see that it has started flashing on the side. Now finally, if I bring the dash, then it does that, and it can do split right or left. I'll show you what that means here in just a second. So that is really cool. So that is hazard light, and you can change that. Now turn signal, the next one is the, and you can do the brightness, right? Like auto or custom or whatever. On turn signal, it is green. So let's say if I was to press on the turn signal here on the right now, as you see, it flashes green because there is that turn signal light, and we have set this to flash green, and we have set it so that it splits. So if you look at it, it splits right in the middle. The other side is not flashing, only this side is flashing because this turn signal is activated. Now I can make that any color I want too, like blue. Look, it's only that side and it is blue everywhere here. Now you're saying, you know what, I don't want it in the front, I want it just on the door. Then as I showed you earlier, you can remove the dash, so nothing is happening on there, but then it is flashing blue on the side here. So you can fully customize that. I would recommend putting that as a green color because it's a turn signal, and I recommend, for me personally, I'll just do it at a dash because I want the turn signal to be indicated all on that side there too. So that is what it does with the color here. So, and then you can also do custom. You can do brightness to high, so then it is 100%. You can do auto. You can do all of that setting directly from here, and that is the turn signal, and it is split here, and rear doors is off. You can turn on the rear doors and whatnot. Now this becomes extremely useful when we go to blind spot detection. So what you do is, on a blind spot setting here, if there is a car in your blind spot, then a light will just toggle on. So always light is yellow by default, but you can change that color anyhow. But if there is a car in your blind spot, it will just turn on yellow all throughout here. Or if you don't want it to turn on yellow, then you can again split this. So you can say, oh, don't do it on the dash, but only do it on the front doors, then it will do that. So wherever you want that yellow to pop up. But if you're driving and if there's a car in your blind spot, then it will toggle yellow. Now, while the car is in blind spot, if you were to start the turn signal, then instead of green that you see, it will actually flash red, letting you know that there is a car in a blind spot. How cool is that? You can now set this up so that it is different colors, and you can set up any colors you want. But basically, while you're driving, you don't have to think about this. This is, once you set it up, you forget about it. You don't have to do anything about it. It automatically does it, where if there's a car in a blind spot and you start blinking, then this will flash red instead of green or orange if it was there was a car in the blind spot. So it gives you all of that options, which is really amazing. Autopilot, you can activate the blue Autopilot and you can show the Autopilot just here on the dash, or you can do front doors. So I personally like it on the front doors too, so I know exactly where the Autopilot nag is showing, and it does blink. So every time there's an Autopilot nag, you will see that light blink right there. So it shows that as well, which is really cool. Acceleration mode, if it is in chill, standard, sport, you can do that based on what acceleration mode you are in. And then the gridding animation. For me, the gridding animation is a rainbow. So as soon as I go in, it changes between different colors. And then again, I can do that dash, front door, rear door, auto, custom. This is amazing. You can change all of that. Let me show you what this looks like on the road. So we're gonna do some road testing here. I've got the HUD set up, set a destination here. My car can start Autopilot from park. So what we'll do is start the Autopilot and now press brake to confirm. Now the car is going to start the Autopilot here. So what you saw earlier was as soon as my car toggled the Autopilot, this whole light became blue. So let me show you that again. It is blue. Now, if I get a nag, so if I'm not paying attention, look at that. It flashes. The nag flashes all throughout, letting me know that I am not paying attention. Now, if I take this away and stop paying attention, that went away. So now all of a sudden the nag went away and I'm paying attention. My phone is in front, and if it doesn't detect that I'm paying attention, it is going to give me a nag. So if I look away, there you go. And look at that. You see the flashing nag all throughout, so I know that I need to pay attention. Now I'm going to pay attention to the road. All of a sudden, the nag goes away. That's pretty cool. So now let's talk about the blind spot monitoring system. There is no cars in my blind spot, so it is absolutely green, and if I were to put a blinker, it just flashes green. But look, there's a car in my blind spot, now it is orange, and if I flash, it will give me red. So if I take away the blinker, it is yellow, and if I flash, it gives me red. So that is what you get. Again, yellow because there is a car in my blind spot and it clearly shows, and as soon as the car passes, there is nothing there. Again, there is gonna be a car in my blind spot. It shows yellow all throughout the light and the HUD. Again, there's another car in the blind spot and it shows that. And there's no car in my blind spot, so it all goes away. Again, there's another car. If I flash, it flashes red. And there you go. And it's only on the half of it where there is car in the blind spot. The other half doesn't have the car in the blind spot, so it does not show that. It is green, and then it is yellow again, and then green, which is really cool that it shows very, very clearly when there's a car in my blind spot. And then now if I was to toggle the Autopilot, it just shows everything as blue. And if the car does come in the blind spot, it is going to show yellow. So there's a car on the right and it was yellow. Again, there's a car on the right, and also it is flashing because I need to pay attention to the road. I'm paying attention, that goes away. So you see how cool this is it shows everything here. Really cool. Now I'm gonna be making a lane change here. I go there, it is flashing green because there are no cars there. Look at that, it does a really good job. That's pretty cool. So here I have made the blind spot detection to be purple, and as you can see, there's a car in my blind spot and it became purple. Another car in my blind spot and it became purple. So now the blind spot would just turn purple. That's why you can customize it to your liking. And see, it is purple because there's a car passing, another car coming up, and it is going to be purple too. And it became green again when it passes. Another thing that they have added is on their HUD here. So this is a live HUD where you look at it here, it gives you a speedometer and a lot of different features, including, turn signal. This is just a live instrument cluster display for you all here. It gives you what setting that you are in, reverse or drive, and it basically shows all the gear and turn signal information, even braking, like you see here. It can brake. So you can do all of that. You can do, different settings such as you can pop open the rear right or left door, glove box, drift. There's just so much. You can change the regenerative braking here setting directly with this instrument cluster display. So you can do a whole lot with the instrument cluster display right here. Now what they have added is a feature called HUD. So if you go over here, and by the way, you can go through different scenes here. So whatever type of a HUD that you want, the basic to fancy, you can do all of that. But what they have added here is HUD mode. So this is a true HUD mode, which is, head-up display, where if you do this with the head-up display here, now this looks flipped, and it is supposed to be flipped because what you do with this is you place your phone here, and then you project the phone up to the windshield. I'm gonna show you what that looks like in the nighttime because daytime it doesn't matter. But this doesn't have anything other than just the speed limit and the current speed here. So 25 and the 0, and what you do with this is you can actually expand this. So if you look at it, you can zoom out of this to make it bigger. So if you want to make it bigger, you slide this towards the right and it's large. So when you are projecting this, it is going to be large, or you can just slide this to be smaller. So I'll show you here at nighttime what that looks like. And you can also change the brightness. So you can increase the brightness by swiping this up or decrease the brightness by swiping this down, whatever you want. And then what you do is just set your phone like this and it will reflect the true speed limit and the speed on your windshield. So it is nighttime and we're gonna test out that HUD feature here, and all you have to do is go over there, and we had shown you how to set up the HUD, and just right now look at that. You can see the reflection even from here. So that's the windshield and you can see the reflection. My phone is very slippery, it is all glass, so what I'm gonna do is put a towel and put the phone down somewhere like right here, and you can position this wherever you want. If you do that, just angle this out and it looks pretty good. Does have a little bit of that double thingy there because of the reflection that you see, but if you bring it closer, I mean, that looks pretty decent. Even where it is touching it is on that view there. If that is too high for you, you can set it somewhere here. So as I said, I'm gonna put a towel and then I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So I put my phone on top of a towel here. I don't think that's the ideal solution, but probably figure something out there. But look at this. That is a pretty damn good HUD. Like with the light on, you can see the reflection really well. And as I say, like you can change it. So if this is too big for you, you can go ahead and slide this to be smaller. So I'm adjusting this. So if you just want a smaller number there, you can do that. And look at that. You're gonna see a little bit of that double reflection because of the windshield here. I don't think there is anything that you can do about that, but you can move this where you want it, place this to your liking, and you've got a HUD. That's actually really good with the speed limit and the current speed is showing. And if you put the blinker, you'll see the reflection of the phone. So you do see the blinker there as well. You see that there because the phone shows that. Let me see if I toggle the autopilot if it shows anything. Well, the entire car becomes blue for me, but not on the HUD itself. It doesn't show anything, but that is pretty good. It's a pretty good looking HUD for a Tesla. Now, Enhance just needs to make a permanent instrument cluster display and figure out the reflective HUD. That would be amazing. So that's what you see here with the HUD at nighttime. As I can say, like you can adjust the brightness, you can do whatever you want with your phone, and my phone is staying there pretty good. With the hard braking here and acceleration, it's not moving. So if you can figure something out like my phone with the towel there, you will get yourself a HUD. Another thing that they have made improvement on is this continuous autopilot. And this is practical for folks who only have basic autopilot, no FSD or enhanced autopilot. And what this does is with Tesla's basic autopilot, you can't make Tesla do a lane change, right? So you gotta turn off the autopilot and you gotta go to the next lane. And then after you make the lane change, you have to again re-engage the autopilot manually, right? So this automates that process where you activate this, and then what you do is you go over there and then it says activation timer. So how many minutes after you make the lane change. So what you do is you have this activated, go turn on the autopilot, push the blinker, make the turn, so then when you do go to the other lane, the autopilot disengage because you're overriding with the steering wheel, and stay in that lane and turn off the blinker. After turning off the blinker, after, you can set this, after 2 seconds of turning off the blinker or 3 seconds of making that lane change, it automatically engages the autopilot again. So you don't have to manually engage it after making the lane change. You just have to manually make the lane change and then it'll automatically engage it. Now you can also refine this so that it only works for 50, 65 miles per hour or 80 miles per hour. So you can change that between different speeds so that it's not doing it on every single street, local street out there, but with the highway speed. So 65 or 80, you can set that so that it only does it at those higher speeds, not with the lower speed. Another cool feature they added to the Commander is kick down. So what this does is, let's say your car is in a chill mode, and for, you don't want the chill mode for all the time, but you don't want to go and set it to standard and chill between when you're driving. Let's say all you want is the chill to automatically go away and make it standard while you are applying the acceleration really hard because you want to go fast. Let's say you are stopped at a stoplight and you have to make a immediate turn right after and you want to just go really fast, but you also like driving in the chill mode normally. This is a setting for you where you can activate this and it asks you pedal position more than 90%, 95%, or 100%. So let's say if you say 90%, then what this does is, let's say your car is in chill mode and you press this pedal 90%, the acceleration pedal to 90% in, so almost flooring, then it automatically changes the position from chill to standard. So you can go really fast. Now they also added a feature where you can now deactivate on pedal position. So if your pedal position is, let's say, 30 or less, then it will automatically deactivate. So if you're not pressing as much, so you're only pressing 30% on acceleration, you can deactivate. Or you can also add a delay setting. So like in seconds, like 8 seconds after the pedal goes to 30%, then it will just automatically shift it from chill to standard or standard to chill. So you can automatically do that. Now you don't have to go to settings or go to dynamics and try to change that position from chill to standard. This will automatically do it for you on an as needed basis so that you can drive and chill most of the time. But then if you need acceleration where you're pressing it really hard on the acceleration, it will just automatically change the position to standard so you can go really fast. Now those are the main features they added on the Commander. They have added other features on the knob. We'll go over here in just a second, but there is a lot new that they added, and there is a whole bunch of other features that we previously discussed in our videos. I'm going to link all those videos in the description below, but there is door handles where you press on the door handle, it automatically opens the front or the charge port. You can also do a presenting trunk, so if you come near with your phone with the Bluetooth connected, it will automatically open the trunk for older cars. Presenting doors. There is just so much that the rear vent control, there's just so much that this Commander offers. Now let's go ahead and talk about the other features they added within the knobs and also on the dash. On the knob, they have added a few more features. To get to knob, you just go here, press on knob, and here the first thing that they have added is main home page. So if you like this page right here and you want to come back to that same page, you can always do that by setting it here, like auto. After exiting this feature, you'll return to the same home screen that you were in prior. So like you're always going to be on that screen. But now you can do custom where it says select the main page. So this would be the main page here. So this would be the main page, and it says auto return to default after, like, let's say 3 seconds. So what happens with that is that, let's say we are in this page here, it is going to return to the main page after 3 seconds. Did you see that? Like it just flipped through that. So you always know where you are at while you are driving. You can also do that by gear. So like if you are in park, then you can have different settings versus main page in drive, main page in reverse. You can select what you want, how many main pages. So you can go through a lot of that options here. They made it easier for you to understand this. There's just so much customization. Now let's go ahead and change one of these settings here. So let's go to that, and then let's change the fan speed to something different that they added here. First thing that they have added that I want to show you is the lock and unlock. So they always had a lock and unlock sound on the knob, but now they made it so that it is a quiet lock and unlock. So right here, behavior is silent or normal. So now you can do silent behavior. That means while you are inside the car, you can safely lock the car without the car making that noise. So if we were to leave this into normal, let's say save action. Now, if I was to go over here and then press, you hear that it made that noise, like the beep noise came through because that it indicated. So select silent, and then if we were to save action, now what happens is if I was to unlock it, no, it didn't make the noise. It just locked and unlocked without beeping, which is really cool that now if you are at nighttime or if you just want to be safe inside the car and not beep, then this does that. You can just press and unlock and lock. This is different than the walk-away door lock. When you walk away, it still beeps if you have set it to beep, but while you are inside and you press on this is only activates when you press on this button here, not with the walk-away door lock. Now I'm able to lock and unlock silently. Now let's look at other things that they added. So on wipers, they have added a single washer and set wiper. So for this one, let's say single wipe. So if we were to press that, it'll just do a single wiper mode. So we're gonna save that action. Now let's program this one to do the other wiper one. So let's go to wiper, and this one is the washer. So we'll save that one, and it changes. You see live here, single wipe, the washer. Now let's change that one to be the set speed. So if we were to go here to wiper and then go to set wiper, instead of auto, I'm going to set that to be 4. So it is just fast, and we're gonna save the action. So the first one is single wipe. It's dry, nothing there, perfect. This is with the wiper fluid, perfect, you saw that. And then this one here, we program it to do 4, and that's what you see. It is set to 4 here, and that's what it will do. Now another feature that they have added is called the high beam strobe. So to go here, we're gonna program that one button on the side to the high beam strobe, and when you go here, it shows how many times it blinks. So let's say I want it to blink 4 times. This is that friendly nudge, like if you want somebody to pass, and if you don't have a traditional stock here, it's a little bit harder to do that. So with this, you can just blink that 4 times. It's the high beam strobe, like just flashing it. Let me show you what that looks like. So we are set that to 4 times flashing. Let me press that button. You saw that it flashes 4 times. Again, it flashes 4 times. You can also set that lower. Let's say if you wanted to set that to 2, so we would go here and then just make that 2 and save action. Now if we go back, it does that. So it's a quick flashing of the high beam strobe. And those are just some of the new ones they added with this update. You can go over here and you can see how much that they support. Anywhere from open to close to drive to media to, look at each of these have so many different items underneath that you can set. Seat adjustment, passengers, mirrors, lock unlock, traffic control, accessibility. I mean, there's just, this thing is just packed with features that you can control and make your car fully customizable. So what do you all think about this new update from Enhance and all the features that they have added? This is also a great time where you can let me know in the comment section what other features they should add to make your life easier with your Tesla customizations and things they would like them to add, because they're really good about that. They listen to customer feedback directly from our comment section. They have engaged in our comment section so many different times, and somebody said, can you make this happen? Like the passenger seat profile, that was directly from customer feedback, and everything else that they put together is from customer feedback. They're the only company, in my opinion, that we have worked with that extremely listens to the customer's feedback, and then they go and make the product happen. It's not even a couple of months down the road and they're like, oh yeah, we made that happen. You told us about that feature last time and it's already there, which is amazing. So please, please, please continue to put your thoughts in the comment section below. They will make it happen in the future update as much as they can. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found today's video helpful and would like to see more videos like this in the future, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon.